Hey everyone, are you ready for a 5-minute history of bluegrass? Well, let's get started. Today we're going to talk about what it is, who perfected it, and how easy it is to learn bluegrass. Bluegrass is basically the ultimate musical fusion. In other words, it consists of 4 musical styles: the Irish, jazz, Negro spirituals, and English ballads. Topics generally range from life to love to God. Instrumentation is fairly simple. It involves the fiddle, the banjo, the mandolin, guitar, bass, and sometimes a dobro, which can be used as a substitute for the fiddle. Bluegrass vocals generally consist of 3-part harmonies. They're usually very raspy, especially in the earlier recordings of bluegrass, and they tend to be slightly out of tune, especially in the harmonizing vocals, which is what's classified as that high lonesome sound. Bluegrass, which has its origins in the Appalachian folk music, was perfected by Bill Monroe, who is considered the father of bluegrass. What he would do, and this is where the jazz element comes in, he would go down to jazz festivals in New Orleans, listen to how they played their music, such as the improv, which is basically taking a tune and doing really weird stuff with it, and he brought those concepts back into the bluegrass genre. Flatt and Scruggs, who are best known for their song The Ballad of Jed Clampett for the 1950s hit series The Beverly Hillbillies, also perfected this style and made it what it is today. Other bands that did the same thing were bands like Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys. Then we have Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. There's a whole bunch of bands that you can check out that have kind of like that high lonesome sound. Bluegrass is actually pretty easy to learn. I didn't think it was when I first got involved with a local bluegrass band in Sussex County, New Jersey, but it's really not that difficult. And what makes it not so difficult is that you're mostly learning this by ear, as opposed to the classical music genre, where you have to read like whole pages and scores worth of music. And this one, you just listen to how it sounds, figure out how you want to interpret it, and then go from there. You also have lead sheets that accompany that, and if you don't want to use lead sheets and just want to learn it by ear, awesome. Bluegrass time signatures are relatively simple. They usually fall under 4 beats per measure or 3 beats per measure. And time signature is just simply how your chord progression and melody fall under 4 beats or under 3 beats. So 3 beats, da, 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 da is a typical waltz beat that you might hear with like Johann Strauss or something, for all you musicians out there. Under 4/4, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. And your chord progression and melody have to fall right within that 4 beats. Learning bluegrass also requires some knowledge of improv. Improv is basically taking what you have and building on it and making it really, really interesting. But you also have to have a really solid knowledge of your keys and scales before you can do any kind of improv.